All right. So we're back here on the pod. My name is Jay Rich here in Jay Rich Studios, and we got a special guest today, Brandon McDonald. What's going on, man?
It's going not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. You're the first hockey player on the podcast, man. So I'm excited because I don't always get to talk about some hockey, and this is what you do. This is where you come from. So happy for you to be here on the pod, man.
I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Most deaf. So, talk a little bit about where you're from and how you got to Edmond, Oklahoma, and UCO playing some hockey.
Alrighty. Well, it all started off. I was playing junior hockey in Winnipeg, Manitoba, where I'm from, Canada, and kind of went from there. I started playing junior hockey out there, and I got traded to a team in the United States called the Wisconsin Lumberjacks, and I got an opportunity from a coach that reached out from UCO, and they asked me to come down. So I came down, took a peek at the school, and I decided it's the place I'm going to come.
Man, so like you were saying before, getting traded, that's not something we hear all the time.
For sure.
Explain a little bit, how does that work? You going from those early stages to the NHL level, and how do you get there?
Well, I wasn't as lucky as most, I guess, but it's a slim few that make it to the NHL. But trading in hockey is a pretty average thing. Teams trade here and there and try and make their team the best they can do. So I was at the short end of the stick, got traded, but I ended up going to a place that I'm lucky to have went because I wouldn't have the opportunity to be coming down here. And you kind of just work your way up through hockey all the way up. When you're playing a little kid in Canada, especially when you're growing up on rinks, some guys have the opportunities that most people don't to go to the NHL, and I took the college route instead of going the NHL route. If I had the opportunity in the first place, but
right.
But it wasn't. It's kind of just a stepping stone, just like any other sport, like basketball, football. You kind of got to know the right guy at the same time as be that good player, and that's pretty much the name of the game, honestly.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's a different culture than I feel like we have here. What was your kind of perception or what you thought like the U.S. was, and then was it what you thought it was when you got here, or what it was that going?
Well, when I was a kid, I was a pretty fortunate kid. I traveled a lot, and I came to the States quite a bit, but never went this far south. So it was definitely a bit of a kind of a reality check when I came down here. Definitely worrying about tornadoes, earthquakes, you name it, stuff that I never even heard of back at home. We're used to snowstorms. And so I was definitely a bit of a reality check. But instead of that, it's pretty smooth. It's a nice place, especially getting out of the snow for 6 months of the year. That is back at home, and it's minus 40 degrees Celsius at home. And it's...
No, y'all know I ain't going. No, we ain't doing that. No, I'm kidding.
No, but honestly, it's nice to come down here with some warm weather and just a good change, just a different atmosphere to be living in.
For sure. I mean, what was the going through like your family's mind when you're like, this is what I want to do? Like, were they for it or were they?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're definitely all for it because they believe that opportunities, you never know when they're going to come and when they're going to stop. So you take every opportunity. I could never live in the States ever again being a Canadian citizen. So I might as well take my 4 or 5 years here and see where it brings me, I guess.
Man, that's awesome, bro. So now we're going into more of your game with hockey. Like, how do you play the game, and what is your style?
I'm not the pretty handsy guy, but I'm a bit of a grinder. I'd like to, if you guys watch NHL, a little Adam Lowry action. I'd like to say I get nice and gritty in the corners, and back in juniors, I dropped the gloves when I had to. But I'm definitely just not the prettiest hockey player, but I get out there and do my role and do it right. That's my main goal when I step on the ice.
For sure, and even I mean, so wasn't it some of like was like World Championships going on recently?
Yeah, the Four Nation Championship.
Yeah, so
Canada won that, eh?
I didn't want to bring that up, but I mean, some of the name of the game, like you said, is dropping them gloves and putting them up. So
exactly.
How do you see that? Is that like something you gotta have? Like, or you think guys like are they testing you out there? Do you see that?
It's a tone setter, honestly, at the end of the day. It's if your team's down, you guys aren't getting the momentum. You don't really see it in any other sport when you see a guy drop the gloves and start punching each other in the face, honestly, too often.
Nah, I can't. It ain't happening in basketball and football, man. They ain't letting that happen.
No, yeah, it's definitely a tone setter. Like, I don't know if you were watching the TSN here and the Kachucks talk about that fight before the game, how they're talking about it. It's definitely just a tone setter at the end of the day. Like, you get under the other team's skin, and especially when it's those Four Nation championships like you watched, it's the best of the best players. So there's not many guys that are dropping the gloves, but the guys that do are the guys that are trying to set the tone for the game and show it's gonna be a high intensity game.
Okay, and I'm glad that you said that because it's like it's the best of the best. Not everyone needs to do that to
No.
get at that. It's kind of like I'm thinking of it as like a Draymond Green or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like some guys gotta
Exactly.
bring that set that tone.
Exactly.
You know, so that makes sense. But even let's get into the UCO season. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yep.
How did that go? And also, what was your role? Or like, how did you do?
Well, our UCO season started off kind of rough, to be honest with you. We went through a coaching change at the end of last year that we weren't really expecting. Then we had our coach, tough to say, but he kind of not left us, but he had a uh, different goal in mind, I guess you'd say. Like, he had a career that he had to follow that he had before. So you respect him leaving. But we had a guy, our coach now, that stepped up to the plate and brought us to the end of the year. So we definitely went through a lot of perseverance, especially with our team. We're a top 10 in the nation team pretty much every single year. And this year we didn't do as well as we expected. But it happens, especially when you're going through all the coaching changes. Just like any team, they kind of collapse, learn something new a little bit, and learn a new role. But I feel like as a team, we got a lot closer together because you're persevering together, and we only had 13 guys start off the year. So that's barely enough for 3 lines.
So, what is a real like a healthy hockey roster?
I would say 16 to
Okay.
18 forwards and 9 D. So it's a pretty good with 4 goalies.
Wait a minute, you guys only had 13?
Yeah.
Dang, man. Okay. And I want to talk about this, man. I work at UCO, the recruiters,
Yep.
admissions office. You guys rolling in there, doing everything you can to get somebody on the team.
Yeah, for sure.
And that kind of showed me because even me being a student at UCO, knowing that hockey is a club right now,
Yeah.
that really showed me that like, hey, man, these guys care, man. They're trying to do whatever they can to get this roster what it needs to be.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of heart at the end of the day, especially when you have low guys like that. It takes a lot physically, mentally to get through those times in your life with such a short amount of guys. And hockey's not like every sport. It's a little bit different kind of physical, especially when you could be getting hit from behind to getting hit open ice, getting concussions. No different than football, but it's a little bit different kind of a gritty game because it's a 60 minutes, not pretty much nonstop, honestly, of getting hit just like football. But you guys
Right.
have a big roster to follow up.
Yeah, that's true.
And we didn't have that chance to have a roster like that behind us. So pretty much guys battling through injuries, figuring out to
Man.
play every single game so we get through every single game.
Dang, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, bringing you guys closer together, though, something you'll probably never forget. And how do you feel the campus or the community? Have they embraced, the hockey team, or how do you feel that's gone?
I got nothing but respect for every person at UCO that comes supports a team. We play OU as a rival game, and you're getting 1,500, 2,000 people coming out to those games when we're a club sport, and you can't really ask much more from a fan base.
Dang, bro, that's crazy. I didn't get a chance to make it to the game. I gotta be there next year for
Definitely.
sure, no doubt. But also, how do you think the United States has embraced hockey? Do you see it changing, or how do you feel like it's going with that?
I would say when I played up in Wisconsin, the northern parts of the states, hockey's in the blood, just like Canada. Definitely, like you guys
Nice.
have the cold times too up there, and guys are playing on the rinks just like we did. But more you come south, I think it's more of a football stage. So it's definitely a different atmosphere coming down here. Like back in my junior team, I'd still go to this day. I can walk through that town and guys still recognize me. Hey, McDonald, what's going on? And going to the grocery store, little kids ask me for photos still, ask for my
Wow.
signature. But when you're down here, it's kind of like you're just like a person, so it's a little bit different aspect in that aspect for sure.
Okay. So you kind of a king up there, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hey, you're saying it on me, yeah.
But I mean, now being a college student, kind of talk about what that's like. You're a college athlete too,
Yep.
What is that like?
Honestly, it's a good time. It's something different, especially from what I grew up doing my entire life. Like it's nice having a little change up hockey and school at the same time. Honestly, teachers are very responsive with us missing school, everything like that. Even though we're a club sport, they're always honestly be shocked. Quite a few of the teachers come to the games, come watch. I don't know if you know Dr. Tyner.
I'm not sure what department is he in.
He's in business.
Business. Okay. All right.
He
I'll probably
actually is
get
one
to
of
know
our
him a little more.
like teacher representatives. He comes to all
Okay.
our games. The guy flies wherever we're going. He's a unbelievable guy, and he's always
Wow.
there for us. And his wife actually makes us, you name it, banana bread, cookies for the road trips. Like she's a great
Oh.
lady.
Okay. So y'all got that support, man,
Yeah,
from some faculty, staff, or whatever.
yeah.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite players or players you like growing up, or who you model your game? I know you dropped the name, but anybody else?
I'd definitely say Adam Lowry. That's probably the guy I shaped my game around the most because just that physical play style he plays. But I would say, I guess you got to think about Sidney Crosby.
Yes,
He's one of the
sir.
icons of this day and age. And I'd say McDavid's one of those guys too. That guys you just look around and look up to and be like, holy smokes, those are some good hockey players that are generational changing players. Especially with I know we talked about Alex Ovechkin before.
Right.
The guy's
Yeah.
chasing the Wayne Gretzky's record for the most goals scored in the NHL. That's insane. You can even say that out
Wait,
loud.
Ovechkin's still playing?
Yeah, he's still playing.
No, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's I think he's 11 or 12 goals as of now from Wayne Gretzky's record. The best hockey player known to man. Yeah.
That's insane, man. So, do you have a favorite team?
Yeah, I'd say the Winnipeg Jets. You got to be a hometown fan.
Yeah, got you. Most definitely.
Yeah, you got to respect the hometown,
Don't you
especially what they
have
went
also
through.
like a arena football or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's CFL. We have
Yeah,
the Winnipeg
yeah,
Blue Bombers. Yeah.
yeah. So, how is jumping into some football? Like, how is that in like the CFL?
Honestly, it's a different game than NFL.
It is
It's I personally like watching NFL more than the CFL.
right.
But you gotta once again you gotta support the hometown team.
Most def.
But they still pack the barn every night, and it's still a good time going to watch those games. It's just a different style.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No
Have you
doubt.
ever watched a CFL game?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, because sometimes they play them on like NFL Network and stuff
Yeah.
in between, like when the season's over and everything. And yeah, they can like rush the line of scrimmage before or
3 downs.
yeah,
Stuff
three
like that.
downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like end zone and the goalpost looks different and all
Yeah, I
that.
think the goalpost for the field goal is in the back, in the middle of the front of the zone
Yeah,
or
it's
something
in
like
the
that.
end zone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it is a totally different game.
it is.
And I mean, even some of the football players that have to go to Canada, like they got to adjust to that type of football.
Well,
It's
especially
insane.
those guys are playing in the snow during the Grey Cup and stuff like that. Like it's a
See,
big change that
man,
I
that's
guess.
why I was playing basketball, man. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, man.
Honestly, yeah, definitely a different lifestyle. Like just in general, from the States to down here,
Mhm.
just what you have to get used to, the climate you're dealing with.
Right. So this is just some more stuff of like, do you have like any pregame rituals? Are you like a superstitious kind of guy, or like what is it goes into your pregame?
I not too superstitious. I always put my right stuff on before my left, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like listen to the same group of songs going to the rink every day. Kind
What you listening to, man?
it's all different, honestly. With you, I'd say the go-to is a little Kodak Black on the way to the rink. Yeah. Then in the room, it's anything. It's
Okay.
I just go with the flow. I listen to Transportin', to be honest with you, all the way, the whole time, all the way there.
All right.
It's a song I've been listening to since a little kid, and that's the song I always kind of listen to.
Man, versus a little kid, you got me feeling like I'm oh man. No, I'm
Well,
playing.
not that little, but
Yeah. Okay, all right. I mean, like any like what pregame meal or like what do you guys usually eating before the game, or what's something that keeps you like able to move, not too heavy or anything?
I feel like that's basic between every sport. It's always a pasta of some sort, and trying to eat that the night before. Whatever you eat the
Yeah.
day before is your fuel for the next day. So
True. Yeah, that's true.
we trying to play it like that, but nothing too special. I don't try and get too into the food or anything like that. I kind of just have my song I can listen to every time, and it just kind of keeps you dialed in. It's honestly not even the point of the song. It's just the point of It's honestly more like the beat you're listening to that kind of just gets you into the right headspace and
Right. Most
walk
definitely.
into the game.
Yeah, I mean, and outside of just hockey, like, what are some of the stuff? You still a college student. Like, what do you like to do when you're not doing like homework or you're not playing hockey? Like, what do you like to do?
I feel like it's a basic hockey thing to say, but golf. I'm a big golfer
Oh
in the
yeah.
summer, yeah. And that's pretty much if I'm not on the rink or working, that's pretty much what I'm playing.
Okay. What are you shooting, man? What is?
Oh, you're going to put me on this spot, eh?
Nah, man. I ain't look. I ain't doing shit. I'm over here. I'm going to Top Golf, and that's it for me, man. I can't do so. You can't really. You can't get embarrassed too much, man.
I would say like 80s. 80s is pretty safe.
That's pretty good, man. Okay.
Yeah, that's me being a little generous, but
Hey, you got to talk yourself up. For
yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna record right now, so I can't not be. I got to make sure I look a little better than I
Right.
look better
Most
than I
def.
am.
Yeah, man. So even kind of like, what's like the style of? I know it's cold up there in like Canada and everything. Like, what was more of like? Are you guys? You obviously got more coach and stuff. Like, was it you had to change up your style a little bit or
Oh,
coming down
honestly,
here?
for sure. Like, it was a bit of a reality check, honestly, when I came down here. I didn't know if you guys got snow or if you had snow.
Right.
Like, I knew nothing coming here. Like, I walked in here with my eyes closed, didn't bring a winter jacket, nothing. And the first week I was here, it snowed 3 times. I'm like, what's going on here? And but this year I definitely came a little bit more prepared. I didn't know you guys had a cold month, but I thought you were close to Texas. I thought it didn't snow in Texas for the longest time, but
Man, I mean, it really doesn't in tech. Not that much, not
no.
really much at all. But yeah, which is really weird because I'm so close to them. But
Yeah.
we do get the snow.
Yeah, it's
I
different.
don't really understand that either. But I mean, it wouldn't be Oklahoma if you couldn't understand this shit.
Yeah, honestly. But I'd say yeah, definitely style changed quite a bit. Definitely a
Okay.
lot more shorts in the closet.
Right. Right.
And but instead of that, nothing too crazy. It's still warm in the summers back at home. I wouldn't
Mhm.
say hot as here, but probably your spring months when it gets start getting warm in the spring. It's like a good, nice summer day at home. But it gets
Okay.
hot here, man, in the summer. Holy smokes!
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. Nah, man. Yeah, I'm sure you're not even probably not used to some of that.
No, I never been able to have to walk out to my car sweating and get my car and turn the AC on. That's crazy.
Yeah, if you ain't got no AC, man, you out of luck, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you ready to
honestly,
go
yeah.
get some. So I mean, I appreciate you coming on the pod, bro. If there's anybody else that you would think that could be on the podcast, like who would you want to see next on the pod?
Honestly, it's gonna be a little self-centered talk, but I think my buddy Sebastian Doucette that plays on the team. He's a media guy. He's a good talker.
Since you're saying that in the camera.
Sebastian Doucette, you're up next, fella.
Okay, all right.
And he's a good talker. He's a little French guy. He'll tell you a little bit more about the eastern part of Canada,
Gotcha.
more of the central Canada. So he'll
Gotcha.
give you a good view on everything, but especially that French Canadian style he has, and it'll be a good time.
All right, man. Well, hey, we got to get you on there. Brandon said it first. But any shout outs, though? Anybody want to shout out?
I guess I was gonna shout out the parents for getting me here, especially give me the opportunity to come here, and all the coaches that got me here and got me the opportunity to come down to Oklahoma and play hockey.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you, bro, for sure, man.
No problem.
First hockey player, man. We documenting this one for sure. But yeah, it's Jay Rich in Jay Rich Studios. Y'all like the setup? Let me know. Maybe we can add some hockey memorabilia in here or
Yeah, I'll
something.
fit you a jersey or something here.
Oh, hey, man. If you get a jersey, we're definitely hanging it up, rocking it. So yeah, man. That's it. We'll check you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.